Okay, here we go. Ready? Let's continue with this thing. So now, are we in the color? Yep, we're in red. And let's see what happens here. Now, let's start with this. We're going to start with our key points and just push those over, okay? I want to take this and I want to push it over 180 degrees. Well, I don't even see 180 on here, do I?
No.
So I got to figure out where 180 is, okay? Yeah, where would it be? Would it be like halfway between?
Closer to 135.
Yeah, it's actually a third, okay? If because 180 let's see, it's actually a third of the way between here and here, all right? And you can figure that out, but we'll just put it here for right now. So that would be right, because it would be 45 from this point right here, okay? So from here to here is 180 degrees. Well, 135 plus 45 is 180, isn't it? All right, so it's 45 from here. Everybody got that?
Yeah.
Okay. So, right, because a third of 135 is 45. So it is a third of the way. That's what I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
All right, so it's 180 degrees right there. So instead of this point right here, what's it doing? It's now moving right here. Do you see that?
So that was shift.
Instead of this being here, this goes over 180 degrees. Well, what's 180 plus 135? Got it written down. It's 315, isn't it?
315.
Okay, so it's 315. Where's 315? Well, 315 is 45 from here.
So then you
315.
go up to 7.
That's right. So instead of here, where's it going to be? It's going to be here because we pushed it over 180 degrees. Let's go to this. Let's take this and push this over 180 degrees from 270. What's 270 plus 180? That's 450, right? 450 would be right here. So where were we? We were here right at the 0, so now the 0 is here, isn't it? Again, we want to take this point down the bottom. It's at 405, but we want to push that over 180 degrees. 180 degrees would be 585. And where's 585? It's 45 from there, isn't it? Okay, right? It's from the 540, so it's 585 from there. So again, where was it? It was down the bottom. Now it's going to be right here. Did I do one full period yet?
Yep.
Nah, I still got to go up one. If I start here, I got to go up one, don't I? If I start here. You could go this way if you wanted to, but I started here. So we're down here, so I got to go over some more. So this 0 would push over 180. What's 180? Basically, it's just 45 plus. Actually, let's just go from here. From here, yeah, 180 plus this would be 765. All right, so if I come down to 765, it would be about right there. All right, so instead of here, where would it be? It'd be right there.
Oh, you did go left.
Okay, so watch what I'm doing. Watch, I'm going to go like this. Like that. That. And that's one full period, isn't it? So the red one is the one that we want. All right, if you wanted to keep going, you could. Let's see, it'd be what? Well, let's just, I think we're good right there. Yeah, sure.
Did you add 180 to
I add
185 or 540?
540.
The last one.
to 540. Because look, from here, I went over 180, right? From here, I went over 180. All right, from this point right here, I went over 180. All right, from this point right here, I went over 180. And from this point right here at 540, I went over 180.
Well, how would 180 plus 540 have a 5 in there?
That's true.
Don't know, because that's not the right point.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, you're doing
So did I do a math wrong?
You kind of just like alternated where you added 185.
I think I just added something wrong. Okay, I understand. I get it. I was wrong. So what is 540 plus 180? What's that real quick? 200 would be 720. I did have 720 here, but then I put
That's cool.
that thing on there.
I just missed something. I was like, oh no.
Well, let's see. Yeah, well, let's see. I did this. I went over 180. Yeah, this should be a 720 here. My fault.
You must have gone from 585.
Yeah, that's what I did. I went from 585 when I did it originally, yeah. So I should have gone from 540. Thanks for pointing that out, though. All right, because, yeah, that would have been silly. Right, from 540 plus 180 is 720, so the 720 should be right here. Absolutely. Okay? So the red one is the graph that we want. really, it doesn't, can you even imagine it getting harder than that? I couldn't. I mean, that's pretty much, we covered everything. Covered amplitude, we changed the period, we changed the phase shift, we changed the vertical shift, okay? We could have put a negative out in front, but what would the negative do to this thing? If I had a negative out in front of this, what would it do to this red thing? It would just flip it. Instead of going up like this, it would just go down and still go through the same 0 and down like this, okay? So that's about the only way that I can make it a little bit harder. All right? Does that make any sense? I think it's important to draw, or at least to put the points there. You may not have had to draw that blue one right there, you know, the whole entire curve, but at least put the points there so you can see it being shifted. So the last thing that I would do, now what I tried to do, I think in the other class, I tried to do a couple other things before I moved it all the way up and that kind of stuff. But I think it's a good idea to take that center line, move it to where it's supposed to go. Do that first before you do anything else. Then figure out the amplitude, right? Figure out how high up and down you go. And I think, did they put dotted lines? Yeah. Watch this. And I did this on my little drawing here, but you'll see this sometimes. You'll see, oops. I'm trying to hit the boom, boom, boom. Sometimes we'll put dotted lines because at the amplitude, because that, it gives you a, that was terrible dotted lines, but you get the idea. Do you see that? So it gives you an idea that you can't go above the dotted line, you can't go below the dotted line. So if you want, figure out what the center line is first, okay? Then go up, depend your amplitude, go down your amplitude. You can put a dotted line, and that gives you a nice range. You know your graph's not going to go above that. You know your graph's not going to go below that. All right? To the center. Yeah, you could have made this a dotted line. I probably should have. In fact, I should have made it a different color, I guess. But you get the idea. Yeah, I'd probably make this a dotted line too, so it's not confusing with your actual x-axis. Correct. Okay.
Plus you could like put your points on that dotted line, so you wouldn't go above or below.
Yeah, exactly right. And this should, now I just kind of sketch it quick, but that should exactly be right on the dotted line itself, so you know exactly where it's supposed to go. So if you actually used a ruler or something, or some kind of straight edge, and made it go across, you know exactly how high and how low the thing's going to go. All right. So what do you think? Think you can handle that?
Would it go down, like, instead of going like that, when would it go down instead of up first?
Goes in negative.
If it was negative, if I had a negative out in front of this 3,
Okay.
then instead of going up, then it would go down and it would hit. Let's see, it would hit right there. They could put a negative, sure.
What about the D, though, 2/3?
No, they won't put a negative right
It's
there
absolute value.
because it's absolute value. Because if you remember this,
Yeah.
this is absolute value. So even if they had a negative, which I don't think they ever will, this is going to be absolute value anyway. So that's not going to make any difference. All right? Make sense? All right, I think we got it covered pretty good. And if you need to look back on this, you know, tune in and see what it's like. Subscribe.
Does
Right?
it get much harder if we do like secant, cosecant?
It's a little bit more confusing because just the secant itself, I think, is a little bit more confusing than the rest of them. But it's the same idea, though. It's the basic same idea.